Alright, we're gonna now show you how to pin up your Raccoon. You can do it on wire, you can do it on wood. Wire, I don't like the outcome of it. It's hard to maintain the same uniform stretch on every one of your Raccoon. Wire likes to give it a twist either way. Sometimes it's wider. You can cut a wire down and put a piece of board in between it and still get the same effect if you have a lot of them. But we use all wood. We use basswood. It's really soft, easy to stick pins in. As you can see on mine, I actually put the size chart on it. So as I'm stretching out the Raccoon, I know how far to pull it down and things like that. So we'll go ahead and grab our Raccoon that we just finished fleshing up. We'll go ahead and slide him down. Face the back towards you. Bring it all the way to the tip of the nose. What I like to do is I like to center that nose and hook a pin. These are just simple aluminum 5/8 pins that we sell here in the store, right on the tip of the nose. It keeps the nose from flopping off, moving off out of your way, because you want to be able to keep this here so when you stretch, a buyer is going to measure from this point to the very tip. If this is crinkled down into here in a flat spot, you've lost that much space in your stretch. And so if you were borderline a 2X or 3X large, you're a 1X large now. So a little trick there. Go ahead and, we have these little boxes. You can just lay them on a table or whatever, but we have these little boxes. That way it's easier for me to grab a hold of the Raccoon and do all the work. You want to make sure your ears are center, your eyes are center, your legs are on the other side center. You want to pull it down somewhat snugly. These little flaps here are your legs. What I like to do is grab and hold on the back side my legs with one hand and my tail with the other. And I just wiggle it back and give it a nice stretch the best I can. Now as you can see here, we're almost into a 4X large. We're borderline. The line is right here. So to get that 4X large, you want to take your push pin, stab it in the center, pull down, do the same thing on the other side, and pull down. Now you don't want to pull too tight because it's going to want to shrink and things like that. But that is a good borderline. You don't have to pull too hard. Next thing I do is I grab a hold of this flap and I equalize it and pin it on the back side. I'm trying to do this so I can show you. So it's normally I just do them and you don't need to see it. So I'll pin it like that. So your pin holds that stretch all the way around. Do the same thing to the other side and match it. And pin it down. So you've got somewhat a straight line going across. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to add more pins, I do so many up. I don't have hundreds and hundreds of pins laying around. But if you wanted to, you could put another pin in there and make a nice straight line. Next thing you do is you open your tail up and you pin your tail out. Now some guys use a cardboard, some guys use wire mesh to open that tail up and hold it open. I use pins just because that's all I have and I don't have time to waste. You're just going down and opening that tail up so the air can get through to it and dry out real fast. Simple like that. You got the tail all open. And at this point, anything you've got holes in them, you can leave the smaller ones. Those aren't too bad. If you want, just take a pin on one side, fold it over, stuff a pin in it. When it dries, tuck the hair in best you can. But when it dries, it's going to dry with that pinhole closed shut. And it's going to look like a better put up. Now at this stage, you're going to flip it around. Remember that. That is a god-awful looking tear. Happens. There's not much you can do about it. I try to clean it up before I start pinning a whole lot. This right here, this little prep work of just simply pinning this shut the best you can is going to make a big difference. Now you're not going to get it completely closed down because of the way it teared. I actually stretched it out more than what I did because when I was fleshing it, I stuck it right on the tip of the board and ended up ripping it out more. That there, you don't have to worry about. Your chin's off, so that's all good. Now you're at the point of your feet. Some guys take and pin the feet down like this and pin both feet. All I do, because you really don't need it, is I pin right close to there, clean that loop up. Do the same thing to the other side. Now you've got a perfect stretch. Now all you have left is this loose belly. I'm going to go ahead and grab my knife real quick. Now with your belly, you've got this little pucker here and you got these loose legs. You don't want to cut way up into here. You don't want to cut down into here. You just want to clean up this loose piece. The reason being is you make a nice inspection window for the grader to look at what color your fur is on the other side. So I go ahead and pinch it, give it a little cut, and walk it down. Do the same thing to the other side. Now you have a nice, beautiful window. The hair looks really nice. It's all uniformed. Go up, clean your legs up. I cut them a little short. So they're nice and uniformed. Clean the hair out the best you can, and then you're done with that. So that part, at that point, you'll go ahead and stick a wedge in it, only with the wood, just because as it dries it gets tighter, and this gives you your space to be able to pull that out and pull it off the board. So that's a perfectly put up coon right there. That's good for the market. The grader's gonna like how it looks. Once it's at this stage, as it's drying, like I told you on the last videos, if you leave any of that fat or that gristle as it's drying, your coon's gonna take a lot longer to dry. So all these spots that didn't get touched, this is day 3 that it's been hanging, and these are still wet. This should be 100% dry. Now, this same coon, put up the same time, you have where they didn't work it off, and just a couple small pieces, but everything else looks really good. It's drying up, a little greasy. You can at this point take a rag if you want, clean some of this up, but a lot of times I just leave it and let it drip off, clean it up the best I can. This tail, you're 3 days when you went down like we did on that and we cleaned it up, versus leaving it all fat and nasty. You still, I mean, it's soft. This is going to take at least 3 more days, maybe 4 to dry. This one's probably another 2 days and it'll be dried right out. So at this point, you would pull this wedge out, you would pull the coon out, and you'd have a finished product. Nice dry tail, very nice put up, heads work, everything looks good, everything's clean, and this would be your window for inspection. So as a buyer, as a country buyer like me, I'm gonna flip it open, I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna make sure the color's good, look for rubs, any problems. Tall tail signs would be like big spots, like that could be biting, ticks, rubs up into here where they're climbing in. That's how we would grade your fur. This allows us to be able to see it. On the wall over there, you see that is my grading board. I would lay it up against that. It would give me a measurement from the tip of the nose to the highest point of the coon. Now, if you didn't pin this nice and straight and you had this side high and this side low, this side we're gonna grade you on. Reason being is because that's the high side. That is just the way it does. We deduct you for that. So if you square them up, it looks nice. Now on a wire, you're gonna have 2 triangles. It's gonna look like this because you're pulling, like on a muskrat, you're gonna be pulling on the front and the back, pulling down, and these sides aren't gonna come down. So now your high spot's here. So if you're here and here on a wire, and we're down here in a wood, you just lost 3 inches. So this 4X large coon right here now is gonna be a 2X large coon. So you're gonna lose a lot of grade. And in the fur market, when a coon is worth a lot of money, you can go from a 2X large coon, which is, say, back when it was good, a $20 coon, you go to a 4X large coon, it could be $30, $40 for a good coon. This day and age, we're down, prices are down. You know, coon's $10 at max right now. I mean, the coon is down. But if you put that up really good, you're gonna get more money for it. So I hope this was helpful. Good put up, good pay in the long run. We have more videos to come. We're going to show you some coyote fleshing and boarding demonstrations. We're also going to show you when you forget to flip your head, how to go ahead and flip your head when everything's already in the dry stage. So stick around, we'll have more videos coming soon.